Welcome back to We Could Be Drinking.
Before we go any further,
okay.
we record on Zoom. It's the media that we use so that we can get a hold of each other.
Mhm.
I just realized as you started too early and I was chewing, it says recording in process. Would you like to leave the meeting? And I almost did.
Out of spite.
Yeah.
It's good spite.
Anyway,
In my
welcome
defense,
back to
I
We Could Be
said, "Are we
Drinking."
ready?" And you said, "Go."
No.
I said go. He
Oh,
said no.
Wait, you said no.
Because I was chewing.
Ooh.
Happy Easter.
Well,
Anyway, welcome back to We Could Be Drinking. The episode is three morons.
with two eating dinner.
I have put my hot dog aside.
Oh, you're not going to eat a hot dog on stream? Even though
Weird, right?
my soup just doesn't look good on camera.
It
It's
looks
actually-
like calm.
No. What are we drinking? I have a rum and coke.
Beer.
Truly kiwi mojito style.
Mojito.
Mojito. Fun fact, a mojito was my first legal drink.
I thought you were going to say mojito was my nickname in college.
It was, but two things can be true.
Of course.
It was a margarita, I think, for me. I think mine was margarita. Anyway, margaritas are amazing. Tequila is
Margaritas
like
are
my best
good.
friend. I don't care what anyone else says about tequila, but tequila and I,
So
we go
I don't
back.
understand. I don't get all the hate on tequila because I understand it's a very like pungent, strong taste, but mixed with margarita stuff, it's so good. Like I understand people not wanting to take a tequila shot, but margaritas, amazing.
Which is very funny. I'm going to go through this drink very fast, and that is going
Yes,
to be
you
my
are.
second drink is a margarita.
Margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds you want to make two?
Well, I don't like you very much, so.
True.
That's
Just kind of put up with him. No, but I will gladly, chug a bottle of tequila. It's not good for me.
I did in college.
It's not good for anyone.
It's not.
No one has woken up after a day of drinking tequila and gone, I feel like that was a good choice in my life.
Man, what a good night it was.
Yeah, but
last night.
I have woken up after, drinking the bottle of tequila and like, it wasn't the worst night of my life.
Yeah, but that's not what we're. That's not exactly what the criteria here.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
bar is
True.
very low, if that's what you're saying.
One time I got hit by a snowplow. Segue.
Oh
But
my god!
I also had a bottle of tequila, and the bottle of tequila, there's been worse.
Okay. That's a fantastic segue because this wasn't even the thing I was going to bring up. But yeah, Jeremy Renner got hit by a 14,000-pound snowplow, and
That's 7 tons for those who don't do math well.
Mhm.
That's like more than 2 elephants for those that measure things in elephants.
That is also half the dump cheeks. While we're naming weird units of measure.
Of course.
Yeah, he got hit by that. He owned it, I think, and it like rolled over him, and all he needed was like 2 pins in his legs, and
So-
that was it.
I have done literally zero research on this. I saw on Twitter today or late last night, yesterday, he woke up and he posted something on Twitter and the fans were like, yay. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Not that I have any problems with Jeremy Renner, but I just don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. And so he owned the snowplow
I think so, yeah.
and it was like it was not like a hook on the front of your truck snowplow.
Mm-hmm. I read a little bit on it. He owns the snowplow. He was driving it, and he was stopping to try and help someone who was stranded in the snow, and I guess it just rolled over him.
It happens.
No.
We're very happy, though, that he survived and
Mhm.
had very minor injuries because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, but like,
And that is no offense to it, but that is a really, really sucky way to die. It's like Deadpool killing a guy with the Zamboni.
yeah.
A guy in my hometown like a decade ago now. Well, oh God, it's got to be closer to 15 years or so. Ran himself over with a tractor.
Ooh.
Same logic. He put it into park. He got out so that he could move something out of the way. Didn't put it in park. Ran himself right over. Killed him dead.
Oof.
It's a messy,
that's just got to be
way to go.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, we're getting a little graphic here, but if you go like feet first.
I mean, out of fairness, if it's that much weight, you're not going to feel it for that long because you're going to go, wow,
true.
That's not comfortable. And then suddenly, no pain at all.
The shock and everything will take over, and you're like, yeah, cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Unless, apparently, you're Hawkeye, in which case, good news, you just bounce out of the way, apparently.
Good news, your legs are just in a little bit of pain, but you somehow survived.
Yeah. I mean, he looks banged up, but if you got hit with,
in his defense,
more than 2 elephants, I would also look banged up.
We're just measuring things in elephants this entire...
That's my standard, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go. Yeah, how much?
Not a weird segue, but
Uh-oh.
An article just came across my phone from USA Today saying the top 10 weirdest things the agents found in the airport security of 2022.
Yeah. Okay, but before we go, I feel the need to correct myself. A African bush elephant, full weight male adult can weigh up to 1,300 pounds. So
10 of those.
So
when you said more than
13,000.
Oh, you said
13,000 pounds.
I was going to say, if it was 1,300, you weren't wrong when you said more than 2 elephants.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's one elephant.
What? Stop saying element.
I don't know why. I've got the letter M on the brain. This episode is brought to you by the letter M.
Not bananas. We're moving on from those.
No, we've moved on. Now we're joining Sesame Street.
Well, this is...
At Sesame Street, sponsor us.
This is the 20th episode. And the first episode we recorded in 2023.
20. My best impression of the count.
It wasn't great.
Okay, you do better. No, don't.
I don't want to.
If you don't do better, then I have the winning count impression on the entire podcast.
I'm willing to let you have this one.
Thank you. Anyway, we were talking about weird things at the TSA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey Jake, give us some things.
At number 10, we have the soiled money.
Can we guess?
I guess.
I want one of them to be a human toe.
I'm gonna say one of them is like a eagle.
Okay.
An animal that's
good
just
one.
Like the last thing you'd expect.
Those noted are the thoughts of what they guessed.
Mm-hmm.
At number 10, we have soiled money within crutches. Shitty money inside crutches.
Literally.
Yep. Number 9, an inert grenade. Like an actual grenade. Number 8, a cattle prod.
Out of fairness,
I need to move those people out of the plane.
Those people out of the plane.
This wasn't like to bring on the plane. They were going to discard it beforehand, but just to get on and get to your seat, that was what it was for.
We have a gun inside of a PlayStation. I guess there's a lot of extra space inside the PlayStations. I
guess so.
Apparently.
Number 6, drug scrunchies.
Drunchies.
They're just normal scrunchies, but when you suck on them, you get high.
Yep. A knife and a laptop. Oi, this laptop has a knife.
Man, that's a bad... Hang on, I just want to go into that one for a little bit. Because every time you go through airport security, they make you take your laptops out. Mm-hmm. And that's like common knowledge. So for you to be like, all right, I'm going to put my knife in between, like close my laptop on my knife. That's stupid.
Okay, assumably they put it inside the hardware of the laptop, but I also like the idea. Yeah,
so
it's just a butter knife that they put in between the top and bottom of the laptop.
They just put it on top of the keyboard and close the laptop, and that was how they tried to get it through.
It did fool them a little bit because it was a plastic knife.
Okay.
So because metal has a different color in the X-ray scanning things and the things, so plastic would have blended in better. But someone was just looking a little closely and they saw a knife-like structure and they're like, that doesn't belong.
And that had to throw them off because if it wasn't made of metal, they're like, what is that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Moving on to number 4, someone tried to put a gun inside of a medical sling. So next time you have a broken arm, there's a gun inside.
Concealed carry to a new level.
Correct. Number 3, someone tried hiding. Someone had 12 jars of peanut butter in their carry-on bag.
It was Ginge.
Which A, raises a flag, but B, inside every single jar was like parts to a handgun.
It was still Ginge.
I still want to know who will take the time to take out of the peanut butter jars and assemble a handgun.
I'm going to hope that in each one of those peanut butter jars was a plastic bag that they put the pieces in. But
yeah, it was. You're just not like getting
just like taking the hilt and you just like pop a canister straight in and you go, okay.
Someone gets
what's this? It's a spring.
No. Imagine someone gets shot with a gun and the bullet was just like covered in peanut butter, and in the autopsy they're just like, so the bullet wound entered here and exited here, and there's some
the gun bullet didn't kill you. It was your peanut allergy.
It was the peanut allergy. So extreme. The bullet just like grazes your arm, and they were like, "How did the bullet kill him? It was poisoned."
It was poisoned.
The autopsy's like, so he got shot, but like there's a weird brown substance around the bullet wound, and it's all swollen. We don't know what is going on here. Like, I can't imagine, autopsies test for, peanut butter.
I mean, they can tell by some different signs that you had an allergic reaction, and that's what killed you.
Well, yeah.
Like the death.
Like, there are some very evident
the death might have something to do with it.
The death does have something to do.
Yeah. I feel like it's just very funny to imagine them looking at the autopsy and just seeing like a bullet hole that's just covered in peanut butter, and they're like, what the hell happened here?
The mortician just like, yep. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Irony, like blood. I taste a little.
I'm getting hints of peanut butter here.
The other people are like, please stop licking the body.
First of all, you're fired.
And number
His
2,
results are amazing, but we hate the way he gets them.
And number 2, we have on Thanksgiving, someone tried bringing in a raw turkey, and inside the turkey was a gun.
Oh, that
one
started out so nice.
That's how I bring my guns too.
All right, I'm choosing to just forget that there was a gun inside the turkey, and I would love to imagine someone on Thanksgiving flying out to have Thanksgiving dinner, and they just, in their suitcase, they just throw all the ingredients to make a Thanksgiving dinner.
I got this turkey in Mississippi for $1.45. I'm not leaving the state without it. So what if I have to fly back to Montana? I'm bringing my bird.
Oh, walla, bird. And at number 1,
an eagle.
Someone disguised a bunch of candy as fentanyl and tried to bring that on the plane.
They disguised candy as fentanyl?
Fentanyl as candy, yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Although that was very funny. If somebody's like, I've got drugs, trust me. And they're like, we're going to have the drug dog smell this. And the drug dog's like, this is not
This is just Skittle.
But it's like,
look up the handler, like, what's going on? This is a joke.
It's like they're just shaking the bag and it's just like powdered sugar that's on it. So the sugar's coming off and it's very obviously M&M's.
Also, in case you want to know, fun fact.
Uh-oh.
If you ever want to, you can go onto eBay and you can go buy an entire box of confiscated knives from the TSA.
Human toes? Oh.
Jake, how do you know this?
Because it's a really popular thing that shows up on my eBay whenever I want to go look for random crap. Like I type in random crap.
Your eBay knows you too well.
I type in the phrase random crap and boxes of up. Yeah.
It's probably a good thing you have a job, because if you didn't, you'd be so broke.
I have adult responsibility.
I would have loved if one of those was like a human toe, and then they like scanned the guy and they were like, "Sir, why do you have your toe in a bag?" They did the full body scan. They're like, "He's missing his big toe. We found the big toe."
Yeah. Of that list of 10 things, only like 3 of them I think actually were like really
Weird.
bizarre.
Yeah,
Like
the others I'm just not
the
surprised
gun and the
by.
peanut butter, the cattle prod, and
The turkey kills me.
the turkey. That one
The
was weird.
turkey's funny.
The turkey, the peanut butter, and the cattle
Yeah.
prod. I think were like the best ones.
Well, the
Everything
cattle
else is
prod's
like
the
stuff
one.
I'm like, okay, I guess it happens and sucks that we have people that still want to do this.
Yeah. And the cattle prod's the only one that's like something specific that's weird. The rest are just like, what's the dumbest way we can hide a gun and get it onto a plane? And
Unhinged.
Anyway,
peanut butter,
welcome to the list of the no-fly list because now we're all on it.
literally. Anyways, we're
Yeah.
about to be arrested, so this is our last episode. Bless you.
Thank you.
You know what I haven't done in like a lot of episodes?
Sing.
Yes.
Oh my god, you totally should do a jingle about the no-fly
Hallmark
list.
back to early on where I was singing a song for one of the episodes and Jake sneezed and
That was the first episode.
Did you see his dad?
Yeah, no, that was the first episode. All right, Colby, sing us a song.
I've got
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you got a time you need to hide guns? I've got an idea. That's a horrible rhyme. We'll stick it in peanut butter, send it on the plane. They won't even notice. It's just a great game.
Better.
Thanks. I had no music to this one, so I had very little content to shut up. Moving on.
Okay.
Nope, it's too late.
Anyways,
it's too late. It's done.
The one thing that I decided, I'm going to bring this to the table today is I had an interesting drive home today from work.
Oh my god, you got abducted by aliens again?
I got abducted by aliens again. 3rd time this week. And I've been to work 3 times.
Did you do the prodding or did you get prodded? That's the question we all want to know as all of our listeners. By the way, you should follow, and subscribe us.
And if you happen to have been, abducted by aliens, tell us about it.
We want to hear. We really want to hear.
We do.
Jake, you're our new spokesperson because you just somehow managed like, comment, subscribe into, hey, were you prodded by aliens recently?
Because we got to know about it.
Hey, yeah, I know. And we also got to promote. We got to promote.
Don't go to mainstream media. Do not go. Just ignore them. They won't hear you.
Us,
but
a small
us
podcast.
On this show, we could be drinking. We will listen to you,
yes.
And we will ask you the important questions so that way the world that listens to us.
No one will.
Did you top an alien? That's all we want to know.
I did not. No, unfortunately,
The alien topped you.
Anyways, moving on.
I'm not hearing a no.
Like I said, moving on. So I was getting off the highway because me and Colby's apartment's like right off the highway. Colby knows, Jake. I don't know how well you know this area.
I know a lot of things, and geography is one of the top things I know.
Okay. And so I was there was a stoplight, and the car in front of me was
got abducted by aliens?
Was abducted by aliens. It was
Let's call
light blue Prius, okay? Classic car. Everyone's favorite. It's not good. Anyways.
It's not a good car.
The back of this car, like the back windshield, was covered in abductions by aliens.
Oh my god.
Our first merch going on sale is I was abducted by aliens.
I was abducted by aliens.
Talk about it on We Could Be Drinking.
We could be abducted by aliens. Let's get it.
I will be making a dozen stickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I also want at least a dozen.
Merch.
I put the hot and mongoose.
Jake, I'll send you our logo so that you can just start monetizing everything. Anyways, the entire back of this car was just covered in like Trump 2024, Let's Go Brandon, Sleepy Joe stickers on a light blue Prius. And I was so thrown off.
That's funny.
Because
they were against the stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of the stereotype of a Prius driver, it is not going to be a Trump supporter.
I expect Bernie Sanders or,
yeah,
pro Democratic Party, but That's as political as we're going to get because the rest is going to be
on
abducted
the
by
right
aliens.
side of the political spectrum makes fun of Priuses. They don't drive them. The Prius's whole gig is that they are super energy efficient and they get you up to like 40, 50 miles a gallon. Which
that's baffling actually, because I was like I was thinking through like any defense that I would have, and I would be like, okay, so maybe nothing. They just really want to save money, in which case, okay, but then you would want to. I got nothing.
That's what I was thinking. The entire it obviously from the highway, it's like a 2-minute drive, but when I was walking in, I was like, I gotta bring this up because I don't know what to make of this, you know?
That's fascinating.
Like people, and like I get having your, bumper stickers and stuff because there's a truck that parks in our parking lot that has a ton of super conservative stickers. My favorite one is they have one that's just a bunch of guns lined up and it says the Second Amendment is my family, which that kills me because it's anyways. But not on a Prius, like
it's semi-expectable on a truck because at least then you can be like, oh yeah, it's like what you would expect from a Trump supporter.
Like any Republican person that's just very open about their support of Trump and they're the Let's Go Brandon crowd of the United States. The stereotype is that they all drive trucks.
And there's a lot to do with like socioeconomic status. Like you only make a certain amount of money and therefore you're mad at the government. So a guy like Trump that says he's going to give money back to you. Did he give money back to you for 4 years? Did he do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Colby is announcing his presidency for 2024.
Listen, the man barely got almost got his hometown to vote for him to be the first selectman. He did pose a huge threat.
Only he had, actually registered for it. He would have been good.
Yeah. Check me out for presidential run in the future. Sponsored by We Could Be Drinking.
Sponsored by We Could Be Drinking.
My presidential run, starting it now. But like you start with you're looking at states that don't necessarily make as much money. They're not looking at trade versus agrarianism. They're looking at agrarianism necessarily. So you're using trucks that you can get work done. And a Prius in this area is not out of the color, but neither
and that's the thing. Like the area we're in, I'm not surprised by seeing a Prius in. Like, if I was in Jake's area of the country, I think I'd be more surprised seeing a Prius.
Yeah.
New England, no, not really.
Unless you also saw like a decently sized house with its own solar grid.
Yes, that's also true.
And then
if it was very obviously a family that was committed to helping environmentalism
if you live out near me and you don't have a large acreage or ranch type plot of land, everyone's car basically needs to have all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
you were not surviving the winter without it. And there's not many small cars out there.
No, and that is one thing I noticed when we went and visited. Like it's all, all-wheel drive cars that are built to withstand a snowstorm.
Yeah,
like my car is smaller, but
your car would survive only because you drive a Subaru and it's all-wheel drive.
And I drive like a grandmother.
That would make you not survive.
Oh,
oddly enough,
because
of Jeremy Renner and his snowplow.
Running
your ass down.
You oddly need to be going with the rest of the cars. You cannot be too slow and you cannot be going too fast. You have to be going with traffic because, like a herd, somehow cars all move together and they have better traction when they're all together.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It doesn't make any sense because one could mess up in my eyes and they wipe out the entire
convoy.
But oddly enough, it works. Because fun fact, the Friday before Christmas, as most people in the United States know, there was a huge winter storm going across the country.
That
That
is what
Friday,
caused you to miss only your second episode ever.
Mm-hmm.
I was more just I was deciding to drive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have driven if it wasn't for the storm.
Yeah. But I was supposed to fly that day anyway, so I was gonna miss it regardless.
Oh.
But
Trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
That Friday, it was a high of like -5 in my area, and like a low of like -20 something. And with wind chill, it was below -40, which I don't know if you know about that. -40, you could chuck a whole boiling pot of water out the window, and it will be ice before it hits the ground.
Out of fairness, you could chuck me out a window, and I would be ice by the time I hit the ground too. So
is this permission to chuck you out a window, Colby?
Only if it's -40 degrees out.
All right. At
-40 Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Weather gods, make it
Fahrenheit.
-40. I want to do
Oddly
something
enough,
with
it's
Colby.
both the same. -40 for both of them.
Is it
exactly
really?
Yes.
Wow.
So if you look at a temperature chart, Fahrenheit and Celsius both hit exactly the same for cold at that at -40.
But
That's
not positive
wild.
40.
Huh?
Not positive 40.
Positive 40. Celsius, you'll be melting.
Celsius,
And
it's halfway
Fahrenheit, you'll be
boiling.
like,
Yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah,
It's a brisk day.
it's a brisk day.
Yeah,
Pants and
like
a
40
t-shirt,
degrees
but
Fahrenheit is
with
not
a
like
gentle jacket.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
walking around.
cold.
It's cold, but it's not
It's
freezing.
like sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Yeah, and I want to say that's a couple like 100 or 110-ish Fahrenheit for 40 degrees Celsius.
265.
265?
No, 40
Where
degrees
does
Celsius is
water
like close to
boil?
like 80 or 90.
212 is what water boils.
212. So it's just slightly below half of that.
Yeah. 40 degrees.
Something you gotta like multiply by like 5/9.
104. Yeah, like
that's hot.
104. That's a hot day.
Yeah.
That is a wicked hot day.
Yeah. I've like one thing I cannot imagine living in is I was in Arizona in August. The lowest it got when I was out there was 101 and the highest was like 106.
Yeah.
Now, I have something to say about the West. For all I'm not a heat person. I will bear these winter temperatures. I will put my jackets on. I will wear scarves. Did you see the dab? I will power through, right? But if you heat it up and you turn the dial the other direction, I get to a certain point where you can't take off enough clothes, and people don't like it when you're walking around nude. And I just can't take that. But the West does have a certain amount of acceptability in that they are correct when they say, it's a dry heat. And everybody goes, yeah, okay. But at least, like, we went to Colorado, and it was midsummer, wicked hot some of those days, like pushing 102, 103. And it was hot. But it's a dry heat.
That's the one thing. I will take 104 in a dry heat and 90 with humidity. Like over 90 with humidity any day.
Anything over 75 with 100% humidity, it's like you're drowning when you walk outside.
Yeah. And I'm one,
and you
for
feel
me,
heavy,
like for me
and you
especially,
feel tired.
I sweat this like with the drop of a pin, and that's partially because I'm woefully out of shape. Colby, don't you dare. So like, I've drank a Truly, and I can feel the beads starting up here. So if it's 100% humidity and I walk out and it's 80 degrees, I have maybe a 50-foot walk to my car. I'm sweating before I get there. And it's brutal.
Yep.
So, yeah, I give credit to people who live out west, but I also couldn't do 104 every day like they do.
No. This has been Temperature Gauges by We Could Be Drinking.
Man, we have so many segments today. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's poor planning because when we're told we can have topics, usually the person that suggested topics was going to be here, and then they decided to
Yeah.
Calling out the hoe. So next week when we record stuff, we will be talking about swearing.
We will be dragging the hoe on.
No matter what.
I will drag her on from the Midwest.
You will drive to her and physically drag her on.
Something like that.
This has been We Can Be Drinking.
Oh, you're threatened.
Yeah, as if any of us rewatch these.
See, no. I think the hoe might, just because she hasn't been on. Aaron definitely won't. I think the hoe might.
Aaron should be on next week.
I have no idea. We basically find out when we're going to be on Wednesday or Thursday, and we record on Thursdays.
Yeah. So.
But.
Yeah. What else has happened lately? Do we have any New Year's resolutions?
New Year's resolutions? No, I just like to continue living life.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
It's a good life so far. I want more money though. I need more money though.
Money is one thing. I would like to travel at some point this year. I mean, we have some stuff planned, but it's like not like you know, the group of us is doing something in the summer. But it's not like a major trip. Like I would like to go somewhere I haven't been before, you know? And I'm a big travel person, so
that's next year. Like I have a lot of travel that's kind of important to me, and it's already kind of booked out my year.
Next year.
So next year, will definitely involve hopefully travel to somewhere tropical with you guys.
This is true.
And then
Fiji.
We could be
going to throw Jake at a volcano.
We could be going to Fiji.
I don't even know if Fiji. At Fiji, tell me about your if you listen to us from Fiji.
I don't think Fiji has any active.
I don't think Fiji has
volcano, so we can throw Jake in it next year.
It's an island in the Pacific area.
Yeah, there's got to be some volcanoes.
There was some volcanic activity at some point.
It's also still in the Ring of Fire, so
yeah, it's going to happen. And I'd like to go to Europe. I think in the fall.
Europe's one of those places.
Oktoberfest is really calling my name.
I think you would thrive at Oktoberfest. Europe is one of those places I really want to go to.
Yeah, you guys are going to get me in Lederhosen, and I won't take them off out of spite.
We need to. We also
it's gonna be like when you have the kindergarten, like the child, and they're like 5 years old, and they're like, "I'm wearing my Snuggie forever."
Exactly, but that's me with Lederhosen.
It's gonna be like, okay, but we have to. It's been 3.5 weeks. Like, you are crunchy, and it's very gross. And
Jake, we can smell you from half a mile away. Please shower.
He's got like Lederhosen with like an ass pocket, so he doesn't even have to take his pants the pants off. He just unbuttons them and flops them back down.
But it's also been 3 weeks, so the ass pocket is in tatters, as is the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Europe is one place
I do shower a lot, frequently.
Not in his Lederhosen.
No.
But I don't own Lederhosen yet, so we don't.
Yeah.
Next Christmas, I gave you Lederhosen.
So, Jen, what are you saying about Europe? What would you do in Europe? Where would you go? I know you've been to Russia.
I've been to Russia. Russia to me,
out of fairness, he was in the European part of
Russia. I was in the European area of Russia, but I don't count. I almost count Russia as like its own entity, if that makes sense, because there's parts of it that are in Asia, parts of it that are in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That was not anti-Russian, but also like, stop invading Ukraine, you bitches.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really want to go to like Switzerland solely because of like the hiking capabilities.
So it's not the height. There's not.
I've just seen so many things in like Europe. But what do you do in the summer? Hiking.
Ski.
Do
you know how high they are?
That's true.
They thaw for exactly no days a year.
Oh. No, I love hiking, and I haven't done it enough in the last year or so. So I just want to be I want to go hiking in different areas of the world. Like last year, I went to Yellowstone, and that was awesome. And I want to do stuff like that again. And I know Colby, you would rather die than do that with me.
All right, Ginge, I know what they do in Sweden in the Alps during the summer.
I said Switzerland, but okay.
Switzerland.
They bone.
Well, there's that, but also they play the Alp horn. So
Loindale.
life goal.
Loindale.
Anyway, this is an excellent segue to check out our channels. You're gonna see a video of Jake earlier while he was recording himself because he's a fool. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm glad we got there into a nice segue to check our socials.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Jake being. It's a video of Jake being Jake in its purest form.
Yeah.
And it was me. I'm going to let you know a secret. I was 100% sober during this.
Yeah, and alone. It's not even like we goaded him into it.
We were off in the kitchen.
You guys were busy talking about making hot dogs and other things that we're not going to mention. And I decided, you know what? I have powers to record on Zoom. So I'm going to do something, and it's going to be a total fool mockery of myself. And
it's beautiful.
It's glorious.
It's glorious. Please like and subscribe and listen to us more.
Like, subscribe, listen to us more.
Yes, Ginge, there's lots of places to like go hiking in Europe.
I know.
Like Italy's got the Italian Alps. At least then you're not at like 1,000 feet off the ground.
I would like
to. Well, Italy, Switzerland, Austria.
Austria's big in hiking.
I think Germany touches it a little bit.
Germany's got, yep.
I love mountains. That's my thing. I love the view you get when you're just like so far up above everything else, and you just get the long view of being able to see miles into the distance.
Oh, that's why I really love a good suspension bridge.
He loves bridges.
He does love bridges.
Bridges will make him nut. There is a bridge near the GW Bridge in New York City. He drives under it every single time we go places, and he's like, that bridge. I'm taking you home tonight.
It is a very sexy bridge.
There's a giant bridge right near us. Doesn't have that same appeal to him though.
No.
I'm starting a new channel called I Rate Bridges. So send me pictures of your local bridges, and I will rate them.
Why are you starting a channel about angry bridges?
And I will rate them out of 15. 15, of course, being I jacked off to that bridge.
Okay.
I think 14 makes him jack off, and 15 is he finished to that bridge.
Yeah, 14 is when he whips it out. 13 is he has his hand in his pants. 12 is...
Well, 13's rocking a chode, or is it what?
Yeah. 12 is...
I feel like over a 10 is rocking some...
Okay.
Over a 10, there's a little movement down there.
Yeah.
There's a tingle.
Yeah, there's a tingle.
But, 3...
Solo digits?
1, 2, and 3... 1, 2, and 3 make him want to burn it to the ground.
Yeah, it just deserves to be torn down.
All right, rate the one that's near us.
It's barely a 7.
That's what I was thinking.
Like it's a solid bridge, and you don't have to worry about any problem. Like sometimes you look at a bridge and you're like, that doesn't look secure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's solid.
Yeah.
So fun fact on bridges: there's a bridge that is in Connecticut that I have traversed numerous times. You guys probably have also traversed a few times. They have recently finished it, like in the past 5 years, and they've been working on it for like 20 years. I think less than 6 months after the bridge has been open, there were already reports coming out from various engineering agencies saying that bridge is already showing signs of major structural damage.
Oh, that's my worst nightmare.
Oh, we are going to have to talk about that afterwards.
So it looks beautiful.
My fear of bridges.
It's a very pretty bridge. It came out really nice, but
which bridge are you talking about?
The one in New Haven, I-95. The one that you're switching over from East Haven to New Haven.
Gotcha. That's not good.
Yep.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, which is pretty much everyone,
Oh, is it the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
embarrassing.
That's really
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Like they spent so long on that bridge, like working on it,
$2 billion.
and it was already like starting to show signs that we're structurally not all there. Like that's safe enough right now that they're not closing it down. It's still safe enough that major
Awkward.
highway
Very
can still be
awkward.
open, but
Yeesh.
I was thinking about Jake, at the end of your parents' road, there's the single lump over the river where there's the one bridge. I thought you were talking about that because it felt like that took forever to get done.
It did
It's
take
like
forever to get done.
that one took a while, and
it's
that
like
was
a 15-foot bridge.
and that
Yeah,
and that was because fun fact on that one was the main frame, like those I-beams that came in for the bridge, when they were being inspected by the town inspector, I guess something was off in the metal composition. So he rejected them. And they obviously had to get redone, repoured and everything,
That's
redone
fascinating.
and everything. And that's why that bridge took forever.
That's weird.
So
I just feel like construction of
at least someone
takes forever.
Like I don't like my hometown's political people because they're just jerks that have been in office for way too long. And
That applies to a lot more than just your hometown.
oh, it's a lot of hometowns. It's actually a lot of towns.
Yeah.
If
And
you're in office
states.
for more than a decade, I think you
And
should
governments.
probably consider that you're not relevant anymore
Wasting away.
Got him.
at all of Congress.
Wasting away in political USA.
But yeah, at least they did a good thing with saving that bridge.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
didn't
it's-
like initially the person who lives like right next to it, didn't they like their house, the entire yard get flooded or something?
Oh, that's because that river floods all the time.
Yeah, it's just that's how it is.
That house did burn down completely.
That's what it was.
On the night of or the morning after my senior prom.
Okay,
And
I knew
asleep.
something happened with that house.
I was sound asleep, passed out in my parents' bed, and just like
While a house,
I woke up,
half a
mom's
mile
just
away
like,
from me was
I'm just
burning
like,
to the
you missed the
ground."
house burning down. I'm like, what? Hello?
And that's
funny.
close
Long
enough to
night.
your parents' house that you can probably see that from like the backyard.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I could see that bridge from my backyard during the winter.
so you
especially.
definitely could see the house.
Oh yeah, and amazingly, I slept through it.
Of course you did.
There's like 1,000 police cars and fire trucks that are weeing and wooing in the general vicinity, and Jake's like, and
I snore,
wah.
but not nearly as bad as somebody in this chat.
I was waiting for that one to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I realized that I should probably do something about my snoring just because, me and Colby have slept in the same bed multiple times and we live together and he's complained about my snoring. But I tend
All
to not
the
listen
time.
to anything Colby says because he complains about a lot of things about me.
All the time.
However, when Jake first came to our apartment, it was the five of us here. Colby then said the girls slept in Colby's bed, and Jake had brought an air mattress. And I was like, "All right, so Jake's gonna sleep on his air mattress. Colby, we can sleep in our bed." And Colby goes, "No, I'm not sleeping with you. I'll take the air mattress." So then Jake slept in my bed, and the next morning he basically told me I had to get help because I snored so bad.
It was really funny
So
because I was sleeping quite as comfortably as one can on an air mattress.
On an air mattress.
And in the
See,
morning,
the thing is, though,
Jake was like,
Jake's air mattresses are not bad because those are the ones that like you can take like a battery or plug it into the wall.
yeah,
and
and at
it'll
least it doesn't like
inflate.
deflate a lot in the middle of the night.
The worst air mattresses are the ones that you need like the
Hand
physical
pump.
like battery powered thing. You just gotta like go like this to just.
and you can never
Blow
fill
it
it up enough.
You can never fill it up enough. You pull the thing out, half the air goes
Immediately
out,
it's whoosh, yeah.
and you lie down on it. You already feel it losing air, and then you wake up, and your back feels like it's been
You
beaten
slept on
with
the
a
floor
bat.
the entire night.
You've like got
Yeah.
one butt cheek firmly planted on the ground.
Yeah.
And your shoulders are still up in the air, so your spine's like bent like this.
Mhm. I went
and then you have the
camping.
entire next day just like in searing back pain.
I went camping last summer and like when I got to the campground, I was like, oh man, I forgot to bring an air mattress. And then I was also like, it really would not have helped that much because every single time I sleep on an air mattress, it deflates underneath me. And that might have something to do with the fact that I weigh more than I should. But at the same time, air mattresses
suck.
Yeah,
Like
they do.
they're a good temporary solution, but if you can afford like a mattress pad to go on top of it, that might make your night a whole lot better.
Well, and the thing is, like, you're not sleeping on an air mattress because you want to be comfortable. You're sleeping on it because it's a nice portable way. You can just bring it to someone's place so you can sleep over and not be like lying on the floor or something like that.
Well,
but they could do
sleeping on a
something
couch,
about it.
or sleeping on a couch, like that one time at your house in college. I decided to sleep on that couch. I woke up that morning and I don't think I could have stood. I don't think I stood straight up for like easily 12 hours.
I've slept on a few couches in my life that are terrible, including the one that is in our apartment right now. And it's not fun.
I looked at that couch and I was like, if the air mattress is taken, yes.
The problem is that both the couches we have are like
They're love seats.
They're love
seats.
Yeah.
They're love seats plus. So you can lay down, but it is like head against the top, knees over the edge.
What I did when I slept on that was I had my pillow and then I slept kind of diagonal and then I used the footrest that we have and that's what my feet were on. So I was kind of like an angle. I was like half a parabola basically. I haven't taken algebra in years. Give me a break here.
I will not.
I know. But it was not comfortable at all.
I've napped on our couch, on mine of the two couches, and I've woken up and been like, "Wow, this is not a comfortable napping couch." I mean, it's comfortable for an hour, but after that, you're like,
term.
"Wow, my legs are about to fall off."
Well, the thing is too, like with our couches, if you're gonna take a nap, just walk the extra 20 feet to your bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's nice to just lie on our couches and just scroll through your phone for 20 minutes, but they're not a long-term sleeping solution. Now, on the completely other hand, Jake's couches, which he spent at least $3 to buy, your couches would be fantastic to sleep on if they didn't have like the cup holders in the middle of them.
So
the dog.
The dog, yeah.
So the love seat has the cup holders in the middle, but the actual couch, which you can fit 3 people on, I've taken a few naps on there, and it's quite good.
Yeah.
When my sister came over with my parents slept in our spare bedroom, and my sister decided she didn't want to sleep on the air mattress, so she slept on the couch.
Weird.
And she was like, that was a really comfortable sleep. Like she had her nice pillow, but just like it was comfy.
Yeah. I will say the Ho has a couch that pulls out into a bed, and that one is not bad to sleep on at all.
I have never slept on that.
I was going to say, you've never slept on it because you've only slept on an air mattress.
You guys always insisted on taking it, and I was always stuck on the air mattress because I brought.
That's because you own an air mattress. We don't.
Yeah, you guys should invest in one because
why? Then we get stuck on the air mattress.
I was going to say, yeah, we don't. Thing is, we don't need an air mattress here because what are we going to do with it? It's our apartment. We're sleeping in our own beds.
Yeah,
not me apparently.
Well,
to be friendly,
that's because you don't want to sleep with me, you weirdo.
But to be a friendly host, you have one. Like we have one here.
We're not that friendly. We warn people. We tell them if they're gonna sleep over, we tell them every time. We're like, bring an air mattress or you're sleeping on the floor.
Well, and it's like the number one rule at our apartment is like, mi casa es su casa. You're on your own.
Yeah.
There was a thing, we were at Home Goods the other day, and there was a sign that literally, you could literally get a thing that says, Mi casa es su casa. And I was like, we should get this, and anytime someone has a question about our apartment, we just point to the sign.
Yeah, but then they'll think that, oh, it's their house too, and they'll just never leave. That's how you get
No,
bedbugs.
we have ways to. I have ways to remove people from the premises.
He does. He's an expert at getting people to leave.
Oh my god, it was great seeing you. Too bad you have to go now.
It's more that Colby just screams at the top of his lungs until someone
Get out!
until they like. Oh,
And I have great lung capacity.
Colby will just be like, "Oh, sorry, I have to take this phone call," and then walk like 5 feet away and go, "Yeah, sorry, Mom. One of these really annoying friends of Ginger's is here."
it's actually how he gets Ginge to go home every weekend.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. My really annoying roommate is still here.
Despite my best
Privacy
efforts.
is bliss.
Yeah. The problem is your mother loves me, so.
Yeah, but Colby doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's the problem.
I will drink to that.
So Colby, when's that margarita being made?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Half of this cup has been drank, and you guys didn't notice that I filled it up from tea that I made earlier in the day. I've just been drinking tea from the tea.
Didn't even notice because it looked exactly like that.
I reached over earlier. I was like, I still have some tea. Oh,
Like,
Also,
in
at
camera?
everyone, you should invest in a serious tea kettle or
You
teapot.
got that the other day.
I have a
I know.
teapot. This is just very convenient because I've got like 4 cups of tea in here, and I just keep pouring it into my cup.
Also has 2 cups that kind of match the same floral pattern as that teapot, so they go very well with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the truth is, I was
They
looking.
don't,
at
they
the
don't make
time.
they don't make teapots as beautiful as they used to.
I don't know. Got to
I
go
mean,
to more
how,
antique stores.
how many people do you know that actually drink tea?
A lot of people actually.
Yeah, I know
Like
a
a
decent
lot of people that I work with.
Okay, but you work with old people.
No, mostly actually the old people they only drink coffee or water, but the younger there's like 2 people that are like my age. One's like younger, one's a little bit older, and they both drink tea all day long. And
Not from something as sexy as this.
Well,
no,
definitely.
because bringing something that's that sexy into the workplace will get stolen or broken.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
At your company, definitely broken.
I don't know. Like the office area where I work in is like fine, but if we were like actually on like the factory floor, they would definitely get broken.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
Yep.
but I think tea kettles, they're like teapots, they're quite sexy. And
They are, yeah. Especially
I
if
have
you
no
get some
reason to be
matching
that
cups
sexy,
with it.
but
It's a good
That's
look.
one of the things that I find amusing. Like tea and coffee are prepared in very similar ways. Like it's just hot water sitting in some sort of what used to be a plant that has been ground down. And then you just pull the what used to be a plant but has been ground down out.
Round
So you-
bound.
Ground bound. You can get coffee tea bags, like coffee bags. That's just like you dip it in the tea, the hot water to make coffee.
Like the idea of that.
It's
It's weird.
I don't like them, or at least the
Well,
ones that I've had. I haven't had one
because
that I've been
you're
like,
so
wow,
picky.
this is good coffee. This is also true.
Yeah. I was going to say, have you ever had a drink of coffee and been like, wow, this is good coffee?
I've had
yeah, but
decent coffees.
but like
I also
the 3 of us, we doctor up our coffee so
Yeah.
much that it's hardly even coffee at the end of the day.
I don't
Like,
drink coffee. Like the only coffee
the 2 of us.
I was going to
Okay.
say the only coffee I really ever drink is if I get a frozen coffee from Dunkin'.
exactly, and that is more sugar and other crap than
Yeah.
coffee.
Well, and that's why I started getting the refreshers because they're like half the calories, and that's
You're not lying to yourself that you're drinking coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I'm just lying to
although-
myself that I'm drinking tea instead.
There's a photographer that I follow on YouTube, and he like a lot of his videos involves him making like these really, really like high end coffees, and just the way they come out on his videos, I'm like, man, I would love to try that. But he doesn't add anything to it. It's just the black coffee.
Black coffee.
I can't drink it because I need a little extra flavor. I can't just do brown bean water. It just does not taste good.
Shockingly, Jake, your description didn't sound good either.
Although, out of fairness, it's kind of more of a broth.
And honestly, if you say it like that, you get the alliteration of brown bean broth.
Well, okay.
It's just in. We could be drinking is launching their own their own line of coffee called
our
brown
own
bean
refreshment drinks.
Well, okay,
for breakfast.
Fine. A vanilla bean latte with soy milk is a 3-bean soup.
It's a 3-bean soup.
Oh.
Although, again, still kind of more of a broth.
It's a 3-bean
broth
stew.
Because stew needs stuff in it. You got to have like vegetables or something. A soup needs to have like pasta if you're desperate, or rice or something that you can.
Well, no, because tomato soup is just tomato puree.
Here's the thing: I don't see tomato soup as good.
Okay, well,
you got me there, and I will gladly agree with you.
We can't argue with that one.
Okay, fine. What is your go-to soup? I'm going to ask about that.
Love either potato and anything. Like if it's like a loaded potato, like excellent. I also love just like a beef stew. Those are my two.
See, but that's a stew.
Okay, then
beef soup.
Beef soup. No, chicken noodle would be my next.
Top tier soup though for me is a matzo ball soup.
Matzo balls is
your
really
mother
good.
makes an excellent matzo ball soup.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And really, I'm really happy because my significant other has copied and learned the recipe that my mom makes, and she makes it just as good, if not actually a little bit better.
Let's hope your mother is not watching this right now.
I've told her about the podcast.
At Mama Jake.
Beat
your son up.
No, she'd be happy that she taught.
I think she'd still be a little bitter.
She'd be a little sad, but she'd be happy. Deep down, she's happy.
Okay, all right. As long as she's happy.
Jake's assigning feelings to his mother.
I am.
Mother, you are happy about this. His mother's just like,
you're feeling very happy.
This is not the feeling you're looking for.
Yeah. Matzo balls is good.
Also, if we're not a soup, but top 10 thing is a clam chowder.
Clam chowder. We had this conversation when you were here, Jake, where we were like, Colby does not like clam chowder.
I just don't like clams.
Yeah.
Clams and mussels.
But the thing is,
I like
that's
seafood,
acceptable.
But clams and mussels are just like dirty bathwater.
What are your thoughts on shrimp? What are your thoughts on shrimp and lobster?
That's a good question.
I like shrimp. I like crab. I don't like lobster.
I'm not a huge.
I've never had like crab. It's been like crab meat.
I've had crab cakes, but I've never had like a full on crab where you like crack the legs off and
like I'd love to
Way to
just
go.
like have a really fancy dinner one night and actually order like king crab legs. Like I think that'd be amazing.
So I want to say it was before junior year of college. My family and I went out to San Francisco, and we went to this one seafood restaurant. And my dad loves crab. He loves just like the whole process of just like cracking it open, getting all the meat out. And my mother has this picture framed on our wall at their house where I took the picture, and it's her just looking at the camera like, oh yeah, this is happening. And my dad has a literal like bib on that is like the crab restaurant, and he is going to town, like in the zone, just like destroying a crab.
So
was
funny.
Dead to the world. Like we were talking to him, and when I was taking the picture, he didn't hear a single thing because he was so focused on the crab, and it was so funny.
That is funny.
I've looked at pulled pork sandwiches the same way. It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. There's a lot of good foods that I could easily get lost in, and you guys could be having a full conversation about something totally serious or off topic than what's going on right now. But if there is something good in front of my face, like on my plate,
A good barbecue.
good barbecue, um, good barbecue with sushi, or good steak, a really good steak.
A good steak will do it. Yeah,
I can lose myself in an excellent soup. I really can.
I can lose myself in like a big plate of like nachos. If it's all to myself, I just will go through that whole thing and just not care what anyone's saying to me.
See, I will disagree with you, but just because it's nachos and I don't know. But it's your food. That is your go-to food.
Uh-huh.
I know the hoe will say chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese.
Yep.
She'll also say sushi.
She's a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
She does.
Aaron will say anything that isn't a vegetable.
Aaron will just say chicken nuggets. Yeah. We've got childish friends.
Yeah.
That's what we do best.
But again, chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, really good comfort food.
Good combination, yeah.
Also, good grilled cheese.
Colby made grilled cheese the other day, and he said it was good.
Yeah,
it was a really
like
good
it's
cheese.
if you get that bread, like the nice like crisp golden tint,
the problem,
a good amount of butter, and the cheese is melted just right.
Oh boy,
Ginge had got me bread because I had been sick, so he got me bread. I made a sandwich. I was sick, so I wasn't really paying attention. Browned it up really nice, flipped it over. Everything was going great. I cut it in half, put it on the plate. I brought it into my room. I sat down. I took a bite and I went, "This is not the sandwich that I expected." Because he got like an Italian bread, like an
artisanal bread. Because I didn't know he wanted to make grilled cheese. So in my mind, it was like, this guy, he's dying. He's been very sick. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a good person and get him a nice loaf of bread because Colby will nut over a good loaf of bread. So I got him like a nice, like, Italian, like, no, it was like a focaccia, or not focaccia, ciabatta, like olive oil and garlic, something like that.
It was good.
And it was good.
But I bit into it and I was just like expecting like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, like just white bread.
Like just a white bread.
Yeah.
And I bit down and I was like, like I seriously had like an out of body and then re-entering body moment as I crunched down. I was like, "There's too much crunch, and the bread is weird, and my toast is very strange. Something's
not right
wrong
here
with this grilled cheese." And like put myself back in my body, and I was like, "Oh, idiot."
That explains it.
Have you ever had the bread where people put olives in there?
I was gonna say I will stop you ahead of time and say yes, I've had all breads, but you finished before I could.
Yeah.
I don't like olives. So
yeah, olives inside bread is like the weirdest thing in the world because
but the thing, olive loaf is like bologna with olives in it, isn't it?
Yeah, but bologna is disgusting.
This is true. Don't tell Colby that because he likes bologna.
I'll eat bologna, but
okay.
It's kind of like ham. I'm not a huge ham, like sliced ham fan. If I have like a ham roast, like a
where you get just like a nice, just
lump of ham,
giant thick slice of it.
Yeah,
that's
I like
stuff.
a good slice of ham, but I don't want like thin sliced ham. I will eat a thin sliced ham, but it's one of those things
we
where
have,
I'm like,
we have thin sliced ham in the fridge. You want some?
Yeah, deli ham is just like, there's something weird about deli ham. Like it just.
Oh, there definitely is something weird, but like I like it. I get why people don't like it though. Like the older I've gotten, the more I understand people not liking the foods that I like, just because it's like it's people's preference. Plus, every food has something weird about it.
Yes.
Like Colby said one time, he's like he's not thrilled about blueberries. I think it was.
I like blueberries.
You like them, but you can't. You just like
raspberries or blackberries.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. And I was like, I could just eat a whole thing of them. And you're like, nah.
Yeah, I like my raspberries or blackberries from the vine, and I pull them off and eat them, and that's enough. Yeah. But I don't want like a tub.
You're not going to go to Stop and Shop and physically buy a thing of raspberries because first of all, they're expensive as beans.
Yes.
And you're not just going to sit there and eat them.
Yeah. And I also just like there's you listen to any like stories and they're like, they ate so many blackberries off the vine, they got sick.
Yeah.
I will never be that person.
No.
Never.
Blackberries to me are different from raspberries. Rabbis are something I can eat a lot of.
Gingerwald prefers his food brought his human flesh in the form of religious conversion.
It's just when it comes to Christian people, they just have something off about their taste, but when it comes to Jewish people,
yucky.
Anyways, back to fruit.
Yeah.
Speaking of fruit, I just remember when we were doing our first episode and we had no idea what we were talking about. You and I were talking about this and you just Googled, all right, what's something weird we can talk about? And then you just Googled fruit news. And that to this day, that kills me.
So is there anything new in the fruit news?
Well, this is
Let's
how we
find
got on
out.
the topic of bananas.
Yeah.
Googling fruit news right now.
Fruit news. Interestingly enough, the top one is about tomatoes in Florida. There's a large conference in January
About fruit?
Yeah, about tomatoes.
That's weird.
The next one says avocados have reached peak price.
Huh.
And the third one talks about bananas.
I think it's going to completely continue going up. I don't.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine avocado prices are going to go down.
Inflation is still really not showing a sign of going down.
Peru is in unrest, if any of you are paying attention to news in South America.
I'm not.
They've got a lot of political strife and associated campaigns and stuff. But apparently it's affecting asparagus supplies.
Oh, no!
Good.
So
Ooh.
asparagus in the coming future is going to increase in price, apparently.
If you have fighting words, Ginge, do you like the smell of your own piss after you ate avocados? Or
that's
avocados, asparagus.
So I don't eat enough asparagus to have ever actually experienced asparagus pee.
You have, because I cook with asparagus. You just apparently don't pay attention to your pee smell.
Two things can be true.
Also, you should always examine your waste.
Well, you don't have to do it every time, but
yeah,
it definitely shows you if you're.
But you want me to just stand over the toilet and go, "Ah, yes, this was yesterday's lunch."
Well, it's important to know.
Regular.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. I'll keep that in mind for you, Jake.
Lychee fruit. News about the lychee fruit.
That's an interesting fruit.
It is.
Very jelly-like. Just
it is.
That was my nickname in college.
It's a little weird. Australia's best value fruit and veg for January. The lychee fruit.
Weird.
I thought that was more of a Chinese fruit.
And tomato. Well,
shout out to Australia for having fruit.
Esque. What? Oh, I thought you said South America for a second. I was like, do you know where Australia, the continent, is? But turns out I was the idiot.
Yeah. Shockingly, I imagine Australia, the continent's right around Australia, the country. Just take the wild guess, though,
Anyway.
I also guess it's somewhere on the Australian tectonic plate.
Jake, you might be right. That's a pretty good guess.
Actually, I was wrong. It's the oceanic plate.
Oh.
You're dumb and also ugly. Well,
I corrected myself, so I don't know how dumb and ugly I am. I just,
all right.
I think it took off. I think it took off like a quarter point on each of them.
Duh, and also,
So I'm duh.
Got him.
Yep. I went through all the fruit news that has existed in the last unspecified amount of news cycle, and pretty much no disasters. So, good news.
Good
for all
job,
fruit.
The fruit industry going strong.
Now,
everything else industry.
If you were to look at the
shit.
vegetable industry,
new segment called Colby looks up different industries.
in the meantime, how does everyone feel about Meath?
It's a podcast.
It is
It's a podcast.
not our podcast, and not
No,
anyone else's
no. Our
You should
podcast is
totally
We Could
just
Be
listen to
Drinking.
our podcast and our podcast only.
Yeah.
Found wherever you get your local podcasts.
Yeah.
Polka podcasts.
Polka podcast.
New
Next episode,
new
we're talking about
podcast
polka.
for We Could Be Drinking. Jake does polka.
It's a new segment. We're bringing it on next week.
Mm-hmm. We should just go through every episode and just grab like whenever we just go new segment this, and then we have an actual segment about that. That's an entire episode.
Veggie news is very boring. It's mostly just people trying to start like health food websites.
Oh, it's all about kale.
Quinoa can make a better cookie.
It can.
Liar.
Shut up.
If someone gave me a cookie and said, "This is a chocolate chip cookie," and then I bit into it and they're like, "It's made with quinoa," I would want their head.
My mother once tried to make brownies with chickpeas.
You can eat quinoa,
terrible.
but don't feed it to me.
Yeah.
Listen, actually, here's a hot take for you.
Oh, here we go.
Quinoa is a very interesting fruit or vegetable because
I believe you're pronouncing it wrong, Colby. I believe it's quinoa.
Okay, so quinoa is one of those things that has been latched onto by the vegan lifestyle community. Yeah. Thank you. That's a better word. As a superfood, because it does have a lot of helpful nutrients and vegetables and vitamins, and it can be very good for you. The problem with quinoa is that quinoa is very hard to grow and it requires a lot of space.
Yeah.
It also does not react well to most animals that are in, like when you make, I don't want to use the word plantation because it has got slavery.
Negative connotations to it, yeah.
Slavery connections. But when you've got large farms, and I'll just leave it at large farms, when you've got large farms of stuff like quinoa, they can actually be really hazardous to animals and the nature that they grow in, like toxic. So quinoa is it's vegan because it's way safer for animals, but it can actually be really, really, really bad for the environment that it's grown in.
So, moral of the story, quinoa sucks. Don't do it.
Jacob?
Hey, Jake, what's up?
Just want to give you the weird news of the day, part 2 or 4. A unicycle rider has ended his journey from Maine to Florida. He has ridden a unicycle.
He went by car, but he just wanted to tell you about it while riding his unicycle.
A 19-year-old unicyclist has single-wieldedly ridden his thing from Maine to Key West, Florida.
Well,
that's him. That's wild.
Yep.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah. What'd you do? I rode to Florida. Why? All right, fair enough.
But on a unicycle, like
his legs have to be burning.
Or there are tree trunks. His core has actually got to be amazing.
Oh, that's true. Unicycling's a lot of core.
Has any of you ever ridden a unicycle before?
I have once.
I've struggled.
Okay.
Riding implies that I did well.
Riding it is a very loose term. I think I got like one rotation of the tire and then it tipped over, and I went, "All right, so this isn't happening."
Yeah, I have balance left to right, but not forward and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I could ever do it.
Yeah.
And riding a unicycle across at least, how many states is that? A lot.
All right, so we have, say, Maine, Mass, Connecticut.
No, Maine, New Hampshire.
Maine
does not. Or
You're
Vermont,
right. Maine, New Hampshire, Mass, Connecticut, New York, Jersey, Delaware.
I think you have to touch Pennsylvania to go to Delaware.
I think so. I
don't think you do.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Maryland, the Carolinas,
Virginia,
Georgia.
Ooh, that's an interesting point. Did he take the bridge by Newcastle, which would allow him to go from Jersey to Delaware without touching Pennsylvania, or did he have to go past Philadelphia, in which case he had to go through Pennsylvania?
Either way, he went through 10 plus states.
Yeah, and it's a journey.
Yeah.
I'm counting
Shout out to
13.
that guy.
Yep.
Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York.
Or it was Megachusetts because
Or it was
Massachusetts.
Megachusetts, and instead he just was only in Massachusetts.
He drove from east to west coast on a unicycle and touched one state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have been drinking.
We have been drinking.
We still will be drinking.
It won't
Until
stop.
next week.
Still early.
And send us your questions that you have a desire for us to answer.
Mm-hmm. Send us
Because
some weird stuff.
I would love to go talk about something that one of our viewers suggests.
Yeah.
There we go.
Our
Also-
email, I think, is wecoulddbedrinking@gmail.com. So email that, or
if it's not, by the time you see this, it will be.
oh no, it's live.
Oh.
Also,
I've had it live forever.
If we drop some bumper sticker merch, were you
Would you
by
buy?
an alien?
I put the hot in mongoose.
I put the hot mongoose. Tell us at wecoulddbedrinking.com.
Yeah.
But follow us at
actually.
We Could Be Drinking on Instagram and TikTok, and
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.